Hi, I'm Marty Grisani, and this is The Marty Grisani Show. As a full-time real estate investor and business owner, I have a real fascination of finding the key principles for business success and personal development. This show is a reflection of my personal mission to find out what truly makes somebody successful in business and in life. We will find tools and tactics that they've used to reach those levels. If you're the type of person is not satisfied with average and you have a hunger for learning that will never cease, this show is for you. Welcome to the show.
So Mojo was critical for us because our past career, we were salespeople. We sold over the phone. We did very well at that. And we just used those tools of what we learned of talking on the phone and being consistent, and being a ninja on the phone and putting into real estate. And, back in the day, it was just literally calling the number right off of what we skip traced it, or maybe going to white pages and looking for that phone number of the apartment building guy. And we would just call it right from there. But as you grow, and maybe as you build out your business, if you've never made a call or done any of this stuff, and you try to hire a VA just to do it for you, it's going to fail every time. You need to be one that's done it, understand how tough it is to make calls so that you have empathy for the people doing this job. Okay? It's a very difficult job. It's a very tough job. So we love them. We love them. They are our first handoff. They are the first connection to our company. So we want them to feel amazing. They have the most important job. Sales in that cold calling position is the most important job to any company. That's what brings the revenue in. But Mojo was great because we could then take that list, upload it into a system, and then we didn't have to think about it. We didn't have to dial. It could automatically do it for us, and we could just have to pick up the phone. Okay, why Mojo's great? So Mojo's great because I can put in my phone number. They're going to call me back. That's fine. I can voicemail drop what I want. So if they pick up, or if they don't pick up, I don't have to leave a voicemail. I can just drop a voicemail right into their cell phone. What I believe is one of our best ways of getting leads, but it's the most expensive. So if you do have a budget, pay-per-click is the best you can do. They're the best you can do. Our best leads are coming from pay-per-click right now. So pay-per-click is someone types in sell my self-storage fast, your business shows up. Okay, sell my property quick, sell my property cash. We show up number one, and they go to our website. They actually fill out a whole thing on the property itself so that when I'm calling them, I know it's super hot. This person literally wanted to sell their property fast. They Googled it. They found my number. We went over the lists, different postcards that we can send. I'm going to show you in a second. And then one of the most important parts, really where the deals are, guys, is right here. Podio. Podio is through the follow-up. It's the CRM. So whatever you're using for CRM, maybe it's Excel when you're starting off, that's fine. But you need something to nurture that lead that you get. Because that person you called that you had a good conversation with may not be ready to sell today, but they might be ready, if they say, call me in a year, a little slick trick, cut that in half. Call them back in 6 months. They say, call me in 6 months, call them in 3 months. Slide broadcast is something that we've used in the past. Use it at your own discretion. It's going to automatically drop voicemails right to someone's phone.
This is interesting.
It's whatever you're comfortable using. I'm showing you guys everything that you can possibly do that we've done. We've made a lot of money on this, candidly. Okay? More so with large commercial properties because it's a smaller list and they're a business owner. It's not the person at home that's like getting a call out of the blue that they own this home where it's very offensive potentially, right? But it's a business owner who owns a self-storage facility. I don't give a shit. You're going to get a voicemail. We went over launch control. You can pull the lists. You can start breaking it down. You can find out you can put the lists into when they respond to a hot lead, a warm lead. You see like the green up there, that's a nurturing. It'll nurture the list. It'll text back. We just don't have enough time to go over how exactly I do this in the scripts and the text messaging that we use. Open letter marketing. This has been fantastic for our direct mail. This is the secret to our success right now, is open letter marketing. So commercial-wise, we're under contract on a 45,000 square foot industrial building that's in really good condition. The owner's in Florida. Unfortunately, his dad just died. His wife's got breast cancer. He needs to sell this thing, right? And he called us back because of this letter. And we're buying it for $265,000. A comp that's next door, similar $45,000 square feet, is selling for $2 million.
Wow.
Just got to fill it up. People open these all the time because of ours. I have Vince Calabrese, or who's the owner of Times Square building? Rich Calabrese called me back because I sent a letter for the Times Square building. And he called me, he goes, I've gotten millions of letters in my past. I've been doing this for 40 years. He goes, I've actually hung up your letter. Well, I'll show you why. Oh, because I got my partner. I didn't have a kid at the time, or it would have been me and my wife and my baby. But this went out to 1,000 people, 1,000 commercial properties that we wanted. And it literally looks, I should have brought one, like it's handwritten. So they open it up, they think it's a handwritten letter that I sent them, that I took the time to really go through and write this out. And they're like, Marty, this is one of the best letters. People call me, they say, I'm not interested in selling you, but I just want to let you know, it's one of the best letters I've ever gotten.
And that was off of open letter marketing?
That's off of open letter marketing. So again, you don't have money, you can write it out yourself, put a little picture of your family in there. Hey, I'm really interested in buying your property, I can really help you. All right, that went out to, in that photo, same thing, and you can use that same script. All right, and it auto-populates the address. So you put that list that you pulled into open letter marketing. Open letter marketing, you can write it out however you want to do it. You can follow their formats. You can follow their scripts. It'll put out exactly like this. This is what I would do if I was someone who didn't want to do cold calling or text messaging or the RVM. Do a direct mail, because they don't have to call you back if they don't want. And it's a piece of mail. They get junk mail all the time. But this is not. When you see this, something like that, it looks like, oh shit, who is this guy? I want to open this up. This is really nice. That's our lavender scale. It's important. Believe it or not, like all that shit is important to get someone to open that for you. And then they get something like this. Listen, I'm a buyer, not a broker. I'm not trying to list your property. I'm trying to buy it. Because brokers call them all the time. This is more so for commercial. You saw the Mojo dialer. That's in your notes. All right, how do we convert the leads? All right, you got them on the phone, you're talking to them, things are going good. Here's our script. It's in there. I'm going to email this to everybody. We got the email list. Just make sure, did everybody email when you guys signed up for this? Make sure that, because we're going to email the slides over to you. This is our script, and this is perfect for the direct mail piece that we're using right now. This is the exact script that we're using for residential. Commercial, it's a little different, but because we're here to talk about residential today, this is the residential list. So someone just gets a postcard, they call you, and you can go right through this script. I would follow the script every time until you're ready to really flow. Right now, if you're in the awkward stage of your deal finding career, then you're going to want to follow a script. You know what I mean? You're just going to ask them questions. Okay, great, you got my card. How you doing? Good, good. They're obviously interested in selling if they're calling you back, or they see your card and they want to talk with you. So you just want to find out the information. How many beds, how many baths? Okay, great, because you can build up rapport that way. Oh yeah, I sent you that letter in the North Wayton Village. I own a few over there. I really love the neighborhood. You know, you can build up rapport by asking about, oh, okay, like on the cold calling fact. How do you build up rapport very fast through cold calling and Mojo dialing? Is when you're calling, that address will pop up on who you're talking to, and you can just say, hey, we own some properties really close by. If you do, if you don't, hey, my partners and I own some properties close by. Find a partner who's got a ton of properties, and you can use that, leverage that. Hey, my partner Barrington owns a lot of properties in the Corn Hill area. My partners and I, his name is Barrington, but I'm working with him, owns a lot of properties in the Corn Hill area, and we just really love this area. That's why I wanted to call you about your property. Denker owns a lot of developments. He owns a beautiful one in the 19th Ward area. Hey, I was calling you. We really like this area, this land. My partner, you may know him, his name is Matt Denkers, a local developer. He's really interested in this land. We're interested in you being open to an offer. Like if you're new and you don't got a lot of money or you don't have a lot of experience, partner with people who do, bring value to them by saying, hey, I'll take the time to make the calls for you, but I want to split that deal. If I get a good deal with you, I want 50-50. Okay. Not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people will ask to do that, is what I'm getting at. A lot of people like me, I'll say, sure, you bring the deal, I'll split it with you. I don't care. You brought it. And then you're asking questions. What do you think the property's worth? Great, that's a great question to ask. Mr. Seller, what do you think this property's worth? Just curious. You know that neighborhood sells for $200,000. I know that if I fixed it up, Marty, I could sell this thing for $180, but I'd be okay with $140. Okay, there's a deal to be made. Okay. Okay. Can I get inside? I'd like to talk to you. Either way, I don't care however they got the number. I want to ask them, well, may I ask how you got that number? Where did you get that to? You said, I know the neighborhood's $200,000 neighborhood, and you want $200,000. Can I just ask you, again, I know that, I'm not saying that. Oh, Mr. Seller, thank you for at least giving me that information. How did you arrive at that number? Well, if you see, my neighbor just sold the house next door for $200,000. Okay. They just sold on the market? Yes. And you want $200,000? Yep. Mr. Seller, I'm looking at the pictures right now. Granite countertops. Brand new cabinets. You got brand new cabinets and new countertops? No. Okay. They got brand new flooring throughout, brand new paint. That's what you have, Mr. Seller? No. But you want $200,000? Yep. But does that make sense now that I'm just saying that? He goes, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's probably like $10,000 to do all that. Oh, okay. Jillian's asking, hey, how do you find that? How do you bring out? Well, it's through the pulling of the list. Remember, you're in control over what you call. You don't have to call anything you don't want to call. If you don't, like when I'm procuring my list, I'm getting razor specific on, I want the Winton area, right? I want nothing that's not a one bed, 3 bed or more. So I know what I'm talking about. I know in Winton area, geez, 250,000.
So you have a high level familiarity
yeah.
with the comps that would be pulling in that area.
Yes, okay. Yes. And if you don't, you got to learn. If you're brand new, you learn through the awkward stages of just kind of them telling you what shit's worth, okay. Right? Like when I was calling commercial, when we moved to, first we did mobile home parks, we were just going through the motions. We knew jack from squat about mobile home parks, okay? But we learned from talking to the sellers. They educated us. So you're going to get punched in the face verbally by you not knowing what you're talking about the first couple of calls. That's okay. That's all right. I'm going to learn. And I'm going to use that next conversation that I took from that person on that next call that I do. It's so funny, Mr. Seller, you said that. I was working with a seller. You might know him. He's got a mobile home park in Oswego. Very similar situation. He's 7 years old, and none of his family want to take it over. Is that same for you, Mr. Seller? Yep, that's me. Okay, I would have known that. I wouldn't have known that unless I had that conversation. It all kind of works its way so that you can start to realize, what you're talking about, but you don't do it unless you do it. The only way to learn it is through just taking those times and making the phone calls, doing the dials, getting punched in the face, because you don't deserve a $50,000 check unless you do it. You don't deserve it. You got to get punched. You got to learn what you're doing, and you learn through doing. Yeah, what you want to do is change your mindset on trying to get a yes. Getting a yes is so hard. Get a no. Get a no. Getting no's is easy. So when you're like, okay, I just went to Marty's class, and I want to do this. I really want to start making some calls and doing my own outreach in regards to being in control of my destiny, where I can, get on the phone and I can myself get a lead, okay, instead of waiting for something to come through your website or waiting for a realtor to bring you something or waiting for Denker to send you a lead, right? Well, I want to be in control over it. That's why we're so crazy about cold calling and texting, because I want to be the one that's in control over it. I want my effort to be out there. So, the point is that I'm going to learn through doing that. And my whole philosophy is for you guys starting, just if this is something you want to do, get 5 no's. Try to get 5 no's. I'm just going to take no's. And I'm not going to worry about yeses. I'm going to get no's. You get no's, the yeses will take care of themselves. Getting no's is easy. This is a freaking insane list right here. These are pain-probing questions. Remember, how do you find a deal? There's typically pain involved, right? It's a vacant house for a reason. Nobody buys a house. Thank you. Nobody buys a house hoping that someday that's going to be vacant. Kelly, what Kelly's asking is like, well, after 10 properties, I have to, I can't put them in my name anymore. That's true. That's true personally. I don't have any properties in my name. I've never had properties in my name until I bought my house. All the properties are in LLC. And we've never bought conventional with a bank. We use hard money. And you can find hard money by having the deal. Hard money will find you by having the deal. So your question is like, what do we do? Why we do? What I would just, it's a great question, but it's like, I don't know. I don't even know. We don't buy stuff with. What we do is we fix and flip. We have a fix and flip division where we do 15 to 20 flips a year. So a lot of those go to our, like the really good ones, go to our fix and flip division. The ones where we don't have time for, or there's not a big enough spread, like you saw the spreads we were making, 15, 10, 5, that's a wholesale spread, right? A flip spread is like 50 to 100,000. But when you're starting off, you don't have a team to fix and flip. We'll wholesale those. Get some money, and then you can. Or if you want to buy them as a rental, you can buy them as a rental, right? Maybe you have to team up with somebody who maybe has the credit in regards to. Well, you don't even need that. You can do it without it. You can. The thing is this: if you just focus on getting a deal, then you can do whatever you want with it. You can wholesale it. You can flip it. You can bring in a partner that's a contractor to flip it with you. You could hold it. Right? You can bring money, you can bring hard money that's going to buy it because they know they have this giant amount of equity. So if you didn't pay them, they can just take the property, right? They don't want to do that, but that's at least that's what a hard money is. They're lending money on a hard asset. It's not hard to get. A lot of people think, oh, it's hard to get hard money. No, it's just the lien is because it's on something that's a hard asset. It's very easy to get. Put a couple in each one. Yeah, put a couple in each one. I don't think about that too often, but yeah, we just, that's a good question. We do break it up a bit. Bigger properties, commercial properties, obviously have their own LLC. It's their own business type of thing. But these are great questions to ask when you're on the phone. If you're not really sure what to do or what to say, well, ask the questions on here. All right, Podio. Podio is what we use for our CRM. So once we get a good lead that comes in from the cold calling, the texting, the mailing, whatever, you want to start keeping track of it. If I would have done this, when I started, I would be multi-millionaire. We didn't do that, though. We just wrote them down on a piece of paper and put them on our desk. And didn't do it smart. We missed a lot of opportunity. One that still haunts me is actually, he's sitting in here right now, Barrington, got a deal on Aberdeen that I just lost track of. It was a great deal. How much money did you make on that?
Oh, man.
You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but pretty good amount, right?
Yeah, very good amount.
Right, very good amount that I missed out on because I didn't do what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, very good amount.
Very good amount.
Yeah.
Very, very good amount. So that's multiple tens of thousands.
That's that property.
Painful. That's very painful, but that's a good learning lesson on my part. Very painful. I love it. Not with this shit. Not with this shit. No, you do, right? You let it, but it makes you feel urgency to get your shit together when I love Barrington winning, but it's like not on my one. Not on the one else was to win on. I like when he wins on shit I don't know about. True. You should offend them. Sure. There's ways of doing it in a way where, Mr. Seller, you can just tell them, I don't want to offend you. But here's my offer that makes sense to me as a business. And they're going to be like, okay, I'm ready for it. And then they're like, yeah, okay, that works. And then you're going, shit, I should have went lower. Should have been more offensive. But you really do. If someone goes, yep, you did it, you probably didn't do a great job. You probably left some meat on the table, right? Especially if you're wholesaling. That meat is important because that's your money. This is a pro or a con, I don't know, but we trust everybody 100% right away. I give you all of my trust day one until you give me a reason not to. And that's worked out for me more times than it's not. But how do you find a good contractor? You got to be a little more careful with the full trust. So you set that up appropriately. Networking, talking to other flippers who are not flipping right now. There's a lot of them. They're not flipping right now. You talk to them. Hey, who'd you use? There's that old trick. I think we all know it. You go to Home Depot at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Who's there? Right? You drive around houses. You see the dumpster. You talk to them. Hey, you doing the work? Are you the owner? No, I'm just doing the work for the guy. I got some deals I'd like to work with you on. It takes work to do it, but you can do it. Talk to local people. So we had to learn the hard way. We had a makeshift staff for a little while, just kind of like thrown together. We lost our ass the first flip. The next one, we made $100,000, right? But it was from learning the bullshit. You kind of got to get punched in the face. You kind of just got to do it. You know what I mean? You got to just, okay, I trust you to do the job. Now, how you structure it with the payment, we like to do a lot of thirds. Give you a third, third halfway, third when it's completely finished, right? My partner, Matt, is the guy that is our construction management side of everything. He's an absolute genius with this stuff. He knows how to be a lot more in your face than I can be. I'm not that guy. I'm a little softer. But he talks the talk and he walks the walk. Angel knows. Not that we've ever had a problem with Angel, but Angel's in the same on the job site when Matt's probably going a little crazy. But yeah, that's hard. But the checks are way better. So Podio, again, it's its own thing. You can put the lead in here. You can set it up so that you can drip campaign it. So let's say they're interested, but not quite yet. My text messages, now we're doing this with brokers. I have a text message that goes out to every commercial broker on a monthly basis saying, hey, it's Marty, looking for value add industrial and retail. What do you got? And I'm constantly sending that message out. I don't care if it's annoying. I don't care if it's offensive. I don't care if it's spammy because no one else is doing it. I'm doing it. And when they get something, they're going to call me. It's like my buyers. The buyers I work with, I don't do the whole auction thing where I set up a time. I don't got time for that. I got a buyer that texts me every single Saturday and asks me what I got, and he has got the most properties out of any of my buyers. If you can learn this now as you start your journey, because that call you made, that didn't go anywhere, but they get that text message, and they're like, yeah, I'm ready now. Oh my God, it's amazing. Automatically, I don't send text messages weekly. That's doing it for me. Yeah, it's doing it for me. Does it all for me. Works for me. I'll get an update when I get a text message back, so I can go on there, call the broker, or go on there and talk to the seller. I'm telling you, this is a life changer. This is worth, I know we talked a lot about some really good stuff, but this is worth the $100 or $200 you spent to come here today. And again, you can really build this out. You can feel like you're a business owner with Podio, right? You can turn a wholesale business or a fix and flip business or whatever it is, whatever business, and really feel like you're building a business because you're systematizing and you are staying on top of those leads. Because, like I said, the biggest money-making deals we've made is through follow-up. You got to follow up maybe 7 times before you get it. What are you willing to do? It's going to do it for you. So you put in the information, the qualification notes. Look, it gets all this information. How soon do you want to sell it? As soon as possible. It's tenant occupied. It's in good shape. Okay. And look at, we'll just run it out. He got a text message every week, and then he ended up calling us back and wanted to do the deal. So you're asking, how do we judge what our offer could be?
Yep.
So there's a lot of formulas you can use. But basically, what my VA will do is they'll look at the Zillow, and they'll basically just half it.
They have it?
They just half it. And they'll go in a range. They'll say, okay, I know I'm looking at the Zillow listing. It says 200,000. We could be anywhere from like 1 to 150. I'm giving a range. And they're like, well, yeah, well, definitely not 100, but maybe like 160, 170. Okay, now we have a little bit of, there's something there, right? But it's just, we're really, because we're just shooting until, because if they're just saying, okay, make me an offer, they're probably not that interested, honestly, in selling. They just want a big offer. I want someone that's like willing to really talk to us. So I really don't want to talk numbers until there's a 3-minute conversation that's been had, right? I'm not going price at all. At all. I want to know about them. I want to know about the property. I want to know about the situation. And then I'll know if there's even any interest. And then I know if it's going to be a deal or not. But we're not shooting out numbers at all. So we'll write it out real quick. But the ARV, does everybody know what an ARV is? Yep. So if you know that in the neighborhood, the houses sell when they're all fixed up for $200,000, that's the ARV. And then the flip math is, well, then you times it by 70. And why is that? Well, that's our spread, is that $30,000, right? We want to make at least $30,000 on the flip. So if we have a $200,000 ARV at times 0.70, now we're at $140,000. Now that's what it is before we even repair it, right? So now we're going to include what do we think it would cost to fix this up. So normally our flips, it's at least 40K. We can't get it with, it's at least 40. We average around 60, 70. A lot of them are 100, especially on the east side. So now our max allowable offer is $40,000, right? Because we got our ARV is 200, the times 0.70 is 140, minus the repairs equals what we can offer on it, which is about 100. And then if you're wholesaling, right, then you have to subtract your wholesale fee. Depending on the situation and, what their need is and all those good things, you're going to want to start a little lower than your max allowable offer. Again, this sounds crazy. Why are they selling for this? I'll tell you why. It's because they don't want to deal with a realtor. Number one, they can't. A realtor can't sell this house. If you're getting it for that low, it's because there's issues with the property, right? It's dated, it needs love, it's unwanted, it's got bad memories. It's just something you want to get rid of, right? And they don't want to they don't maybe want to clean it out. I can't tell you how many times people have sold to us because I tell them, listen, take what you want, but leave anything you do not want. We'll take care of it. Okay, that's great. They don't know what to do with all this stuff. Yeah. I have a question about this. Sure, yeah. This is just a quick math. This isn't like, oh my God, you got to do this. It's just a quick math. If you're walking a property and you're like, wow, as is, I know this house would sell for $100,000, and they want, $70,000. Don't fight them. You don't have to make a home run on every deal, guys. A lot of this is by just helping the seller. There's been times where we didn't make anything. We just referred them to the right people. I'll tell them straight up, I go, you should list this with a realtor. This house is very nice. I'll tell them. I go, put a sign in the ground. I don't know why we're here. This is our website, webuyhomesrock.com. This is like a couple $100. Yeah, it might be more. But some of our best deals have come from a website lead. You don't have to do this. There's free websites you guys can do. But are people going to be able to find it? We pay a lot of money for search engine optimization and Google Ads. We pay about $1,000 a month in Google Ads.
This is where you get your PPC from.
This is where we get that's the pay-per-click is what I mean by Google Ads. So here's our website. It stands out. You see a lot of other Carrot websites. They don't really show who the owners are. You know right away who we are. We have a video here. It's a little cheesy. All right, so, you know, it puts a name, puts a face out there. People see what's going on. You might get some testimonials. Got one from my attorney. People, you can go crazy on it. The fact is, they got to be able to find it, and they find it through, you know, where are you putting your website? Are you letting people know about it? Are you putting in your social media posts? Are you putting it out there? You know, it's all how much you want to work it. And Google Ads work for you nonstop. You pay for it, but since we built the website, we've gotten 472 leads. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning into the Marty Grisani Show. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, leave us an honest rating and review. If you're on Spotify, make sure you follow us for weekly episodes.